All right, what's up? Let's make another video. This is part 7, maybe 6 or 7 of the inventory components, the multiplayer inventory components. So let's just keep going at it. We got a bunch of stuff in already. I think in this episode we can pick up some items, we can drop them. People have been leaving comments with things to add. That's awesome. We will add most of it. And like, of course, all this standard functionalities coming with like item stacking and stuff like that, and sharing with each other and dropping and whatnot. Anyway, I think in this episode we will also add, because now we only have this pick up when we bump in, so we will probably add a way to like pick up the items with input keys. So if we go to our components, I just sorted everything in different maps and folders. We can go to our widget. And we have our inventory. And what we can also add here, let's make a new widget. So right-click User Interface Widget Blueprint. User Interface, let's call it WB Interaction. Let's add a canvas panel. And let's add, don't need a, let's just add a image. Just for background, just gonna make it black with 0.7 translucency. And we will do a text E. Sorry, just gonna close Steam down. Forgot to do that. And then we will add some more text. Oops, no idea what I did there. And we will just write pick up. I'll do this a little bit smaller, I guess. And I'll do desired. And then in our inventory, we can add the interaction. Anchor it to the middle. Actually, I'll put it a little bit to the side. Something like that. There we go. Actually, we don't want it in the inventory when I think about it. I'm gonna copy this interaction. I'm actually gonna delete it. And instead we're gonna do fill screen, and we're just gonna do the interaction as a separate widget, because we want to be able to create it without actually without actually having the inventory open. So I'll just do like this. Anchor it to the center of the screen. Here we go. And now in the inventory component, actually in the master item, now open both the master item and the inventory component. And we'll create a new function called f show interaction, and one for and you can call the functions whatever you want to, obviously. It's just me, I prefix them with f just because I like it. So on show interaction we will do create widget interaction. We will promote it to a variable and call it interaction wb interaction ref or reference. Just and we'll add it to add to viewport. And on hide, oh, this was our hide. Copy it and put it in the show interaction. And in the hide interaction, we grab the reference. So this is this one that we make here. In the hide, we will grab the reference. We will pull it's valid. So if it's valid, we will grab it and we will remove from parent. Oops. And we will save everything and we will go into our master item. So on begin overlap. Okay, there's a bunch of things we can add here. See, on component begin overlap. We add it to the inventory. We need to do some more stuff here. So in the inventory component, we'll do another variable called overlapping items. And make it master item. And we'll make it an array. And in the inventory component, we'll make another variable called item to pick up. And this is going to be a single instance. So in our master item, we will, in the interaction collision, we will make another event for end overlap. So we get the inventory component here. We will get overlapping items. and we will add unique. I guess we add, shouldn't need to be unique, I don't think so. We add, and we add self. And we copy this, and on the end overlap, we'll drag from other actors, and we'll get remove item. Self. There we go. So that means that we remove if we leave the collision. So if we leave this, we can no longer pick up the item. We need another in our inventory component. We need another variable called pickup on collision. We'll do auto pickup. Call it just description picks up item when colliding. And we'll do this one. Instance is editable and expose on spawn. So now we can edit that as well. So in our master item, before we do this, we want to swap here. So from the inventory component, we want to drag out auto pickup and get the auto pickup. So if auto pickup is true, we want to execute the previous logic. But if it's false, we want to add it to overlapping items. So then in that case, if it's false, we don't want to pick up the item yet. Let's just tidy up here a little bit. Just so we can see what's going on. Yeah, that didn't really make it better. We'll probably collapse it down to functions later, but just so we can see what's going on right now. There we go. And so if auto pickup is true, we pick up automatically and destroy. Otherwise, we just add to the overlapping items. And the master item is replicated. Perfect. And on end overlap, we remove it. We can also do a check here first. actually it doesn't really matter, because if it doesn't contain it, it will just return false here, so we might as well try to remove it. So that's fine. And then we'll go to our inventory component. We have this add item to inventory. Let's see, how do we do this? So we'll do another function. We don't actually need to do that. We'll do another function of f try pickup item. And here we'll get the overlapping items. We get the length. So if the length is more than 0, that means there is at least one overlapping item. Let's see, how do we do this? That means there's at least one overlapping item. Then we add item to inventory. Yep, we can just get overlapping items. We can get a copy. We do want to get the reference, right? We can get a copy of, you can see, of the first item in the array, basically, which is the first item we overlapped with. And we add it to the inventory. After we add it to the inventory, we remove index. We remove 0. So we add 0, which is the first item in the array, to the inventory, and then we remove it from the inventory, or from the overlapping items. What's the time on? We're soon done with this video. We'll also, in the inventory component, we'll add a function called server destroy actor. We'll do destroy actor. We'll drag in. I'll do actor to destroy. Run on server. We'll do reliable, because it's always, whenever we destroy stuff, we really want to destroy stuff. So we'll do reliable, so we make sure that actually gets destroyed. And the reason we're doing a server event is because actor spawning and destroying gets handled by the server. So we don't need to multicast this. Oh, no, sorry. Destroy actor. to destroy. I'm confused. Can't I destroy stuff from my components? I want this. Target this actor, yeah. Okay, seems to work. Why didn't I find this before? Ah. Okay, that's why. So, yeah, if you can't find stuff, sometimes just remove this context sensitive. Server destroy actor, there we go. And on this try pickup item, if we get this far, we also destroy that. Doesn't work. No, okay, yeah, here we go. Okay. Before we do this, what we do here is we set item to pick up. So we get a single variable. Actually, we do this already in, we can do like this. We check the length here, so that's fine. But in the master item, already here, we actually want to from this one. We want to set item to pick up to this item. So the last item that we overlap with will be the item to pick up. And in the inventory component, if the length is more than 0, we will pick up item to pick up. We will remove it from overlapping items. Remove item. And then we will destroy the item to pick up. If it gets destroyed, it's removed. We also need to set then we need to do this check again. So we first check if there's an item to pick up. We first check if we are overlapping an item. If we are overlapping an item, we can pick an item up. And we try to pick up the item to pick up. Once we picked up an item, we need to do this check again to see if it's now empty, the overlapping items, because sometimes we might overlap several items at the same time. So after we picked an item up, we need to set a new item to pick up. So if the length is more than 0, one more time, we're just gonna get, doesn't really matter. Do random. Let's do just random for now, and then we can pick the next one up. Soon done. We'll do E key. I'll just hard code the keys for now. You can do whatever you want to in your project. We'll get the inventory component. Try pick up item, which will give us overlapping items. This should work. And there's one more thing we need to do is actually show the interaction. So if we now we know here that we should show interaction, and if we're gonna get length, we're just gonna copy this, the length, check again. So if we remove an item, we leave the collision, we need to check if there's any more items left in the overlapping items. If there's no items left, we need to hide the interaction. So there. So from the false in this case. Yeah, that's a bunch of stuff that we changed. Let's see if it works. We first need to go into our character, go to the inventory component, and we can see that auto pickup is not enabled. So that means that we should need to do the yeah, we have the physics on this one. Okay, yeah. Physics are always a pain. Okay. What's on by default here? Use physics. So we can see that I can pick them up. Okay, there are a bunch of small errors. When I pick it up, it should get destroyed. And this should also disappear. Okay. Yeah. It's impossible for me to make short videos. Because there's always an error or whatever. There's some cleanup to do. This is fairly standard stuff. You always forget one or two details. Let's just track the logic and see where we got lost. So this obviously does not work. Wait, this is from the master item. This worked. Okay, so destroy actor works. I thought I closed it up. 1 second. Okay, the first error we got was here. In the show interaction, we try to add it to the viewport. We need to do it's valid to only add it to the viewport if it's actually valid. So that's error number 1. I'm gonna pause again. All right, here we go. So in the try pickup item function, I forgot to actually call the server function that we made. I just called the normal. So this is the unreplicated normal function. This will work fine if you're doing a single player game, but if you're not, you need to do a server action, which is this one that we set up, and that's what you need to call here. So now if we play again, we can look at our client, we can see an item. We go there, we get the pickup interaction. You can see that we get them on both clients, so that's also something that we need to fix, I realized. But if I pick it up, it gets destroyed, gets added to the item. Does it then get added? Doesn't get added here, that's good. So we can pick it up, and it's now gone. If we drop it, we want, and you can see if I pick it up, I leave, I can no longer pick it up. There we go. Okay, just quickly, so we can see that we add it to all our clients. We don't need to do that. So in the inventory component, show interaction, is locally. Let me see if this works. I never remember which one it is. Okay, let me just copy this, go back, make a custom event, called it client show interaction, and paste the logic there instead. And we'll do run on owning clients. And we'll do show interaction. I'm gonna delete it to find the errors. Okay, it's in the master item. It's here. Client show interaction. I'm not sure if that will work actually. No. There's one node. I never forget the name. I was, give me 1 second. All right, that took a lot longer than it should have, but it's working. I'm gonna walk you through it. Client, pickup, and the solution was actually super simple, but I just couldn't find the nodes, and if I didn't find the nodes, it just didn't work. So, but it's a simple solution. So, first of all, I'm gonna delete some stuff here from my experimentation. So there's one thing that we need I already added it in an earlier video, but I'm not sure if I showed you. But in our inventory component, we need a event called initiate just to set the owning actor. So we need a reference to the actor that is actually owning the inventory component. So in our master character, on begin play, I get the component and we add the event initiate. So these are all only button, so very little logic in the character still. And the initiate calls this to set the actor. Then the event, we could actually do this as a function now, I realize, so we don't need a custom event for it because it's not replicated anyway. So but I'll work it first. So the reason it didn't work was because I didn't get this. You need to get the owning actor, then get the instigator of the actor. So owning actor is locally remove context sensitive is locally controlled. You need to drag to the owning actor to get the instigator. It didn't work. I promise you it will fucking work. It will. Sorry for swearing. I promise it will work now. Now you can see that now it just appears on both. So, and even if you like get player controller and like is local controller, this should make sense. This should work in my opinion, but it doesn't. But even if you get this is local controller, so this is why it took me so much time. You can see, because both clients are local controllers. So you need to get the owning actor, get the instigator, get is locally controlled. If that's true, then we fire the event. There we go. After that, we have the visibility settings. So the event is the same as before. We create the widget, we make a reference. If it's valid, we add it to viewport. And on the condition, the visible. And if visible is false, we get the reference. If it's valid, we remove it from parent. And then in the master item, we get from the component. You can just drag from here. From the component, we set the visibility to true. And on end overlap, we set it to false. And that works. It took me like an hour to figure out. And this, once again, super simple video turned into 40 minutes. That's just life. So we're gonna close it there. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions or if this does not work for you, because it is, I mean, it's super basic stuff. Can't believe I had trouble with this, but that's just how it is sometimes. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. That's it for this time, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.